Let's prove the long division algorithm. So suppose we start with a polynomial, in this case r cubed plus 2r squared plus 0r minus 1, and we want to divide it by r plus 1. R cubed plus 2r squared plus 0r minus 1 is called the dividend. It ends in END. Words that end in END like that come from Latin. It means needs to get done unto. So the dividend needs to get divided. We talk about dividends in, I guess, the stock market. Suppose you buy Apple stock. That means you own part of Apple company. If Apple makes a profit one year, Apple has the discretion whether they want to divide their profits among the stockholders, and each stockholder will get what's called a dividend. Now, technically, the profits, I guess, should be called a dividend because it's the profits that are going to get divided, and what each stockholder gets is the result of the division. The result of the division is a quotient, I guess from the Latin quota, which means amount. Like, you've heard of a quota, quote, amount. So we should say that each stockholder is getting the quotient. In this case, it's the answer to the division problem, which would be r squared plus r minus 1. This is called the divisor, ending in OR. In Latin, OR means, it's the doer, it's doing the dividing. This is the dividend. Words ending in END or AND mean, again, it needs to get done into Miranda. Mir means to look in Latin, so Miranda is a girl's name popular in Shakespeare. Miranda means a girl that should be looked at. I can't think of any other words in END or AND that mean should get done. All right, so the way we're going to prove this division algorithm is we look at the leading terms. So we look at the leading term of our divisor and the leading term of our dividend, and we ask ourselves, how many times does the leading term of the divisor go into the leading term of the dividend? So how many times does r go into r cubed? Well, r goes into r cubed r squared times. So we write that r squared as it'll be the first term of our quotient, and then I'm going to call this dividend our target. This is our target. And let's see how much progress we've made so far towards our target. So we'll take what we have so far, the r squared, we'll multiply it by the divisor using the distributive law. We get r squared times r is r cubed, and r squared times r is r squared. So this is our progress so far. How far do we have yet to go? Well, we'll subtract our progress so far from our target. R cubed minus r cubed is 0. 2r squared minus r squared is r squared. 0r minus, 0 is 0r. Negative 1 minus, 0 is negative 1. When your teacher showed you this algorithm, he or she may have just copied down this 0r and not gone all the way to this negative 1. I like to do that because it helps my brain really understand what's going on. I always say in math, understanding is very important. Understanding is more important than memorizing. I don't want you to just memorize this algorithm, I want you to understand it. And then we'll just keep going. Frequently we see in math and physics and computer science, we do the first step and then we just repeat it. I've heard it said that the hardest part of a journey is the first step. So we just keep repeating. How many times does r go into r cubed? Let's say this is our new target now. This is how far we have yet to go, our new target. How many times does r go into r squared? Why r times? Let's check the progress towards our new target using the distributive law. R times r is r squared. R times 1 is r. How far do we have yet to go? Well, we could subtract our progress towards our new target from our new target. Let's do that. R squared minus r squared is nothing. 0r minus r is negative r. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. So now this is our new target. And it's the same process. We'll just keep doing the same process until we're content. Ask yourself, how many times does r go into negative r? Why, negative 1 time. So this is our new target. Let's track our progress towards our new target using the distributive law. So our progress is negative 1 times r is negative r. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And so to see how far, obviously we're done, but to see how far we have yet to go, we could subtract our progress towards our target at hand, and we get 0. So it goes into it evenly. So this is the quotient, it's the answer. So we can write that r plus 1 times r squared plus r minus 1 is equal to r cubed plus 2r squared plus 0r minus 1.